Hello everybody from Siena. My name is Luca Bonomi and I am the president of DA Siena. To start, I wasn't born in Siena. I was born in another country, in another city, and I came to Siena when I was 17 years old. And I'm totally Italian. And the first time I saw the palio, I saw something like this that I wanted to share with you. This is the horse race of July the 2nd, 2015.
Oca, un po' più giù.
Can you see?
Selva. Civetta.
So it was more or less 8.
We can't see it.
You can't? Okay.
Once you've selected the video, you'd need to select a different screen to share because it does it by application.
Okay, thank you. I will try again. I will try. Can you see the screen now?
You can
Yes.
see the screen, but it's your folder.
Can you see now?
Oca, un po' più giù.
No.
We can see the screen.
Not at the movie?
No.
Just share the frame where is the video. Just the application of the video.
Okay. Just 1 minute. Okay. Ora non riesco più ad entrare in Zoom. Non so che cavolo ho fatto, mi vieni solo tu.
Solo io?
Mm.
In basso.
Nessuno. Se solo tu ci sei, eccolo. Allora.
Ci siamo tutti, eh.
Ci siamo?
Ok, ora perché non mi fa? Ok, ora. Perché non mi fa ottimizzare il video ora?
Non te lo so dire. Riprova a condividerlo da capo.
Non sono capace. Ora siete ripartiti tutti. Ok. Can you see the video now?
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, good. Sorry.
Selva.
So it was July the 2nd, 2015, and there were 10 horses, 10 jockeys, and 10 contradas. They were informed about the starting order just a few minutes before the start of the race.
Torre, con calma.
And at one point,
con calma, dentro. No, ma vai giù, non spingete. Torre, girati.
You see that there are
Oca dentro, no.
There are 9 horses here. And one contrada is out of these 2 ropes. This is by chance. They had drawn the order few minutes before, so they didn't know. And they are trying, all of the contradas are trying to get the help of this guy at the end.
No. Vai giù. Torre dentro. Ferma. Lo so. State un po' su. Torre, vieni su. Montone, vai al 2, vai al secondo posto.
This can last for hours, as you know, if you were in Siena.
Torre, vieni su, attenzione.
There are 3 loops over the square. And I ask you to pay attention to the reaction of the people. Look at how they react. This kind of reaction is not because of the cameras. You know, we could have been absolutely alone without any camera, and we had reacted in the same way. So my feeling when I saw the Palio for the first time was, well, this is a mental disease hospital. Everybody here is totally crazy, and I can't understand anything about this event. Now, what I will try to do together with you is to explain, not just in the past, because the past is past. So of course, it's important, but what is important to me maybe it's nowadays. It's why you can't see me, somebody is telling me. that is not really a bad thing for you, but still. And I don't know what is about, but I don't know why. Io non capisco perché c'è questo. Non è che sei tu il host adesso.
No, sei te l'host. Penso tu abbia la telecamera disattivata.
In giù alla sinistra.
Grazie. Chi è che parla?
Io? Ciao.
Come ti chiami? Chi sei?
Anna, sono Anna White.
Ah, ciao Anna, ciao. Thank you very much.
Anche alla, come si dice, webinar di Verdi, pochi giorni fa.
Sì. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Okay, now we will try to understand a little bit how this happens. Why is it so strong nowadays? This feeling and this meaning is not just a feeling. It's a feeling. There are a lot of different meanings. So this is Siena, and of course we could talk a lot about the history of Siena, the art history of Siena. But at the moment, this is Siena divided in 17 contradas, what we call contrada, neighborhood. That is not the exact translation, but is more or less the something that districts. And here you have the same with the flags of each contrada, with the color and the flags of each contrada. As you can see, there is a hall here in the middle that is Piazza del Campo. Piazza del Campo is neutral, is the battlefield, because one of the meaning of the race is also a battle. Is a battle between 17 districts, or 10, because just 10 on 17 can run the palio. And these are all the palio, the contradas, so eagle, etc. You will see. The name, the animals, the symbol are according to the Middle Age meanings. So with different ideas, I can just give you an example. For instance, the caterpillar, the bruco, this one, or silkworm, as they want to be called in English, is a very simple animal, but it represents something that does something very precious, silk, and also an idea of transformation, the transformation into a butterfly. So just to give you an example. This was the roles that the contradas had in the past. So they were associations for people, mostly, not exactly with the same job. They could also help the Republic of Siena with the simple justice, a problem between the two neighbors, etc. What is important to underline for me is the military tasks for protecting Siena. Siena was an important republic, and they were not used to pay soldiers. Mostly of them were men different ages from of Siena. So the good aspect was that they, of course, fighting for their own home and job and family, they wanted really to protect this city. On the other hand, the problem was that they had to be trained to become, to be good soldiers. So one of the commitment of the duties of the contradas was to train the men for the battles, for the war. How, in the past, how did you become member of a contrada? They applied the so-called ius soli. You know this law because it's exactly what you apply in the US. So it's according to the place where the person was born. Now it's different because most of the children are born in the hospital, so they apply another other two laws, the ius sanguinis or the ius affectionis. And here, again, my goal is to show how is the contrada nowadays, how it works nowadays. Here is one of my very good young friend. She had a baby, and as soon as she saw him, she wanted to put on him the flag of the contrada, because to mark that you are now, since the birth, a member of my contrada, even if you were not born in the territory of the contrada. The best way to make someone proud of being member of an association, of an institution, is to find out a rival. And for historical reasons, these are the contradas with their rivals. So eagle with panther, snail with turtle, owl with leocorn, istrice with lupa, nicchio di montone, oca torre, bruco, drago, giraffa, selva do not have any rival. And Onda, wave, is a particular case because they claim to be enemy of my contrada. We do not recognize them as our enemy. We recognize just the oca, the goose, as our enemy. There would be a lot of stories behind this, but just shortly. Until when I moved to Siena 45 years ago, the bruco and giraffe were enemies. Now they signed, after a while, they signed a peace agreement. So since 30 years now, they are not rivals anymore. How is it possible to live in this kind of feeling of rivalry that is very, very strong. It's something very serious for us. I can give you an example. My personal assistant is a brilliant, very good lady. And when I hired her, I didn't know that she was from the Goose. I discovered after a while. But she is from the Goose, and she is really into the contrada system. And of course, during the year, we have a very good relationship. During the Paglia days, we avoid to usually to meet each other. We are polite enough to say each other hello, good morning, good evening, but we do not talk a lot, because at that point we are rivals. If you go back to the first slide, so you see this diversification that is in Siena, and it's surviving, and it's very, very living at the moment in 2020, not in the past. So we said that the contrada has its territory, its hierarchy, its traditions, can sign a peace agreement, an agreement of peace. So actually the definition is very close to an independent state. And this is a little bit of the situation of the contrada. The contrada is a family, not for blood reasons, but because we share the same goals and the same meanings. We want to get the same results. And we have to help each other. The mutual benefit, the mutual assistance is very important in a contrada, like in a family. On the other hand, we are like in a state, like a small, very small, independent state. So here you find the Europe, but you coming from US, you are very used to think about the Tennessee state within the federal state. And more or less, it's absolutely the same in Siena. So the Torre is a little independent state in a way, but in the federation of the city. If you look at Siena with this perspective, you can see that there are a lot of anthropological, very important anthropological aspect in our life, in living together for us. Thinking about this meeting, I was taking as an example US. So in US, you can't say, maybe, I don't know, but you can't say that there are no violence or there is not racism. On the other hand, you can say that one of the very important aspects of US is the multi-ethnic composition of your society. and in a very, very small scale, but this is exactly the same in Siena. So from one point of view, of course, we have some problems in living together because of this confederation of different states. On the other hand, once we have to fight defending Siena against anyone else, we are all together. And this was the example of yesterday's decision. The city of Siena could have decided to run the Palio, no matter of the coronavirus for the other part of the world. As some people thought that this was the right decision. But this was something, it would have been something very selfish. So thinking about the benefit of all the community, of the whole community, they have preferred to stop, to cancel the Palio. That again is a very, very serious decision for us, it's a drama for us. Talking a little bit about the contrada composition, there is a territory, there is a hierarchy, and there are the premises. Here you can find some picture of two churches. And what is important now, a read that it became more and more important, is the baptism. Is a laical baptism, not religious at all, with which the new member is accepted into the family. And it's very important for the parents of the kids. And every year during our Saint Protector week, a holiday, and every contrada has its own, the priore, the president of the contrada, accepts the new members with this wreath. The kids, the young people, are one of the two most important parts of our family, because they represent our future. They represent how we will be in 20 years, in 30 years. So we are very proud to show and to make for them possible to live within the contrada with different events, sports event or other kind of events, to guarantee that they absorb our values, our way of life, so that they will be very good members in the future. Here you find the museum, one of the most recent and most beautiful museum now is from the East, with its church. And the museum is extremely important because in that part of our contrada, we save our memories. Some of them are very precious, things are very, very precious, are masterpieces. Some others are precious for us, and we don't care because we don't care about the reaction of the visitors, because this is a private museum. It's just for the people of the contrada. And of course, we are very willing also to share and to welcome other visitors. but generally speaking, it is maintained for ourselves, not for the normal visitor. Let's put it this way. I told you the importance of the kids, and the other part of our society are the elder. I mean, the elder people are very, very well respected because they represent our roots. They represent how we were 50 years ago, but they can tell, they are wise, they represent our wisdom. This guy that you see, that I venerate, Italo, he is now 91 years old, and he was my mentor. He attended the third class of the elementary school at his time. He was from a very, very poor family, but the wisdom and the knowledge that he was able to transmit me during the years made me think about him like really one of my most important mentors that I had. And when I say other people of my contrada, you know, my mentor was Italo. Everybody wows because they know who he is, what he represents in our society, in our small community, what he was able to do and to build for the other members. In fact, this is a nice picture that it shows us how usually during a parade, how we go. You see, at the beginning, there are the kids, the children. And then the old people. And it's really something that unconsciously they do, but it represents the history for us, the idea that we have about history. So they represent our future, they represent our past and our present, but is a ring at the end. The idea of the ring will come back in a short while. This is another important, very recent new tradition, the initiation. When a member is 18 years old, during the week of celebration of our saint protectors, they swear in front of the president that they will follow and they will do their best to follow our rules and our rules. To be dressed with the dresses of your contrada is the best honor that a man can have. This is something reserved to men. Just men can be dressed, and they have to show how good they are in playing drums and in waving the flags, because these were two aspects very important during the battles. According to the sound of the drums, the soldiers could understand the order of the generals, but at one point they were too far away. So according to the position of the flags, they could understand what they had to do. If you know, those who know Dante, Florence lost, and Dante writes in the Divine Comedy that Florence lost a very important battle versus Siena because a betrayer cut the arms of the flag wavers, so that it was not possible to transmit the orders anymore to the soldiers. At the beginning of the before the Palio, and we are going to talk a little bit about the Palio. Before the Palio, there is this long and stressing historical parade. We have to show how elegant we are, how good we are, how good we are in following the rules of the historical parade with the flags and with the drums. And then at the end, and then we will talk about the Palio, but talking about the contrada culture. You know, this link and this feeling with the contrada doesn't stop with your death. It goes farther, because, and this is an example, but there are tons of examples in the two cemeteries of Siena. Some are very old, some others are very new. So people who are buried with the symbols of their contrada. Because according to our theory, according to our philosophy, in the other word, it's the same, exactly the same reproduction of this word. So the people who are members of my contrada are now waiting for me. When I die, they will come to welcome me. And I will be living with them for the eternity. And this concept is very strong, and it's a memory that is important not only for the people, but also for the horses. You know, the horses who win the Palio are heroes, because they are totally innocent. They are the instruments of the willing of God, because at the end, we will talk a little bit about the Palio, but at the end, everything is in the hands of fortune, of God, of Virgin Mary. So the horses are the real heroes of the Palio. And these are two tombs that are for some horses who were very, very important in the history of Siena for the Palio. And they are buried, and people go to visit their tombs, because again, for us, the contact is constant. This is when we won in 2015, we had the permission from the municipality of Siena to hold our final dinner in the square, in the Piazza del Campo. This was something exceptional, and it will never happen again. But I want to show you this slide because you can see that here there is an empty table. So this table, in our intention, was waiting for the dead members of our contrada, because they were celebrating together with us. So it was the way to say, listen, this is the place, your desk, your seat. Have a dinner with us in this empty seat. And the other thing that I would like to stress with the concept that I would like to stress with you is with this slide. The real symbol of the victory is to bring the pacifier. Why? So you can see the vice president of the university or the president of the actual president of the university, very formal dressed, who is walking through Siena with the pacifier on his shoulders, because it's a contrada one. Because every time we win, the contrada comes back to birth. And we are kids. And this is the other idea of the history, like a circle, like without any end and without any beginning. Because it's a circle. It's something that is repeated every year. And that's why it's a drama, and I apologize again. I feel so stupid about my reaction at the beginning of this meeting. But that's why for us, it's a drama, the absence of the Palio this year. Because it signs something that we miss. And we will miss forever, because no other palace, of course, next year we'll have another palace, hopefully other two races, of course. But what about this year? This year will never come again, come back. And we lost this. And during the First Mondial War and the Second Mondial War, the soldiers, the people of Siena had exactly the same feeling. Yes, maybe the war ends, but what about this year? What about this July? What about this August? That's our drama, and this is why it's so strong. As I was sure, I spent a lot of time talking. So I wanted just to share with you. Thank you. I see your comment. I wanted to share just a few, just one other, if I'm able, just let me check. Just one other video, if you have time, because we didn't say anything about the religious aspect. That is extremely important. You know, the two pallios are in honor of the Virgin Mary, but because Virgin Mary is our queen. As you know, if you visit the Palazzo Pubblico, you see the representation of the Virgin Mary enthroned, surrounded by the saints and angels, because she is our queen. For centuries and for a lot of years, on the coins of the Republic of Siena, there was the image of the Virgin Mary. So the two pallios are in devotion of her, and that's why we think those who have a faith in religion they think that is Virgin Mary at the end as the queen of the city to decide who is the winner, who deserves the winning. Can you see the movie?
Yes.
Can you see? Okay, thank you. So after the victory, as soon as they end the victory, the people of every contrada goes in July to Madonna di Provenzano, in August to the Duomo, and they sing this song, this ancient song in Latin language, in devotion to Virgin Mary, thanking her. And they say, you defend us, and we thank because of the victory. And you will be always our queen, in few words. So this year we will not hear the drums. We will not see the yes, the horse is in there. So I will try to, if you have any question, I will try to answer your question. If you can also unmute your microphone, or you can send me a message. The horse is in the church, and also during the blessing of the horse, that is a few hours before the horse race. Any other questions? Thank you, Bunny. The Christine Philip. As I said, this year the Palio will not take place. No, the two Palios both are cancelled because of the virus. Thank you. So I'm sorry if I had some technical problem, but you know, I'm 62, and it's I do my best, but I always fighting with the technical support. Okay, yes. And you will find, so somebody will be so nice to edit the presentation, and we will inform you when you can see it thank you, Cody, when you can see it in YouTube. Okay? Grazie, Anna, for your, and there were a lot of our, thank you, Renata, thank you very much. Thank you, James, Stephen, I had also some students from UIC of the old, the past years, and it was moving to see them. Thank you very much, and see you in another occasion with another system, with a better system. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Bye.